Well, first and foremost, I don't know if you've heard or been informed, but Kamryn Melton decided to tweet out that he's transferring.
That's what Gus had informed me that, and wish him all well. Wish him well.
What does that do to your secondary, which is already thin? You commented
sure.
on it. It takes out a guy who's in the third or fourth
We
spot.
think we've signed some good players, and we have some good players on campus, and we're looking forward to those players.
Obviously, Gus had already addressed the Elijah Daniels situation, but just also what does that do to the defensive line spot at this point?
I think we're going to be fine. And I hate the decision that some young men make. Elijah's a good young man. He made a poor decision.
Is that tough, considering he's one of those players that you said in the spring that you felt you could really trust and count on?
No, it's always tough. I mean, no matter any situation, a young man makes a poor decision. It's always difficult, and I wish him the best of luck.
I wanted to ask you, obviously, another tough spot. Former player in Dante Fowler.
Yeah.
I'm assuming you've reached out to him.
I have. We've talked, and of course, typical Dante is upbeat as you can imagine. Will attack this like he attacks everything else in life, full speed, and he will be successful regardless. But just hurt for him and Dante Sr. and Lenore, his mom, are great people, great family, great young man, kind of like one of your own getting hurt. And it hurts. I just couldn't believe it when I saw it, and talked to him that night. But as upbeat as he always is, I mean, he's just got an unbelievable attitude about life.
You've got one of the best, well, the best defensive end, top-ranked guy, Byron Cowart, coming in. Do you feel like he's going to have a little more pressure on him with Elijah Daniels?
Byron puts pressure on himself as a player, and we'll certainly bring him along. And when he's ready to accomplish the things he wants to accomplish, we'll make sure he's in position to do that.
Where do you see him kind of fitting in?
Well, again, right now, we're in our 4 down. The buck in the end is the same, because it's going to be a guy that's going to be an edge guy. And we get in our 3 down, the buck becomes a stand-up guy. But Byron can handle both spots.
Lance had talked about that at Buck after Carl this spring. Well, obviously didn't play an 8A, but nevertheless, that he was really pretty open after that, even though he was the backup. You saw Cam Tony a lot on A-Day. Were you satisfied with what he did? Did you want
No, he did some nice things. I think for the first time being on the edge, some players are better at the point of attack and being, on the line of scrimmage. There's not as much keen diagnose, and I think Cam suited him a little bit better. I think he did a nice job on the line of scrimmage. He'll continue to progress for us.
To go back to Byron for a minute with the recruitment, I don't want to make bigger things. It's already months now, but we hadn't talked to you about where there was a lot of insinuation, and even Byron in an interview with him earlier this week mentioned it also, where there was a lot of insinuation there may have been a conflict of interest at play there with what played out that day, where obviously his coach has some connections to your former institution. Did you feel that may have been at all a factor?
I feel like Byron was coming to Auburn all along.
We've talked to you also about the other guys coming in. I didn't ask you about Prince Tega, who I know is a developmental guy.
Absolutely, a guy that's in the infant stages of his football mentality and understanding that, but is an outstanding athlete. He's got a tremendous upside as a player, a guy that we're really excited about. He's come off the broken leg very well. When he was on campus for A-Day, his body is completely filling out exactly what we felt like would take off. And it's just a matter of how quickly he catches on. It's going to be like any freshman, but certainly he hasn't been exposed to the game of football as much as some of the other young men.
What's the timetable for his return?
I wouldn't have any. Take as far as returning?
Yeah.
He'll be full speed when he gets on campus. As far as his leg, I believe everything is healed, and he's been cleared for most everything he's doing.
For Big Cat Weekend coming up in a couple of weeks, what makes that just a little bit different than some other places?
I don't know. I've never gone through it before.
I thought you went through it.
No, they started after I did. I'm excited. I can't wait.
So no one's told you like what you're expecting?
It's a secret. I can't tell you.
Do you think it'll be anything like Friday Night Lights back in Gainesville?
It'll be good. We're looking forward to it.
The 2 last things for you was kind of like bigger stuff for desks and things like that. I know technology on the sidelines was something that was brought up in the past years. Stuff like the NFL having the tablets on the sideline. So that's something you'd like to see. I mean, how much? Well,
I think we didn't have it when I was in the National Football League, but we certainly had the pictures and things, and that certainly helps you. But again, it's going to come down to who can afford those things. That always becomes a cost issue, and you got to be fair to everybody and who can be able to afford those things. Certainly, our league would be able to do that, but can other leagues do that? And then you get into cross-sectional play when you're going to be playing another opponent, or is their league doing it? So that's something that will be made. That decision will be made far above my head.
And then the last thing I have is, all coaches are very analytical and focus on stats. When a pro football focus is out there, gets into the NFL stuff, it's getting more into the college game with really deep analytics beyond just tackle numbers and things like that. Really deep stuff. Do those things that you guys look at, are you conscious of? Are those some stats like that you guys use, or incorporate
Well,
into
I look at a lot of things as far as, you know, any statistical information that has any strong basis that can help improve you as a coach and your players and your football team. And certainly we've got a lot of things that we look at. There are just too many to mention. We don't have enough time to go through everything, but there's a lot of things that we look at that we chart daily, weekly, yearly, going into years. What are the trends as far as people are doing?